Some have said it takes a minute to learn poker, but a lifetime to master it. Now that fits me pretty well. I'm Owen, a professional poker player and poker coach at DragtheBar.com. Poker is a seemingly simple game on the surface, but as many people coming to learn the game have discovered, it's actually quite complex. But every complex decision in poker can really be boiled down to two things, the two keys to good poker. So without further ado, here are the two keys to good poker: accurate assumptions and making the best decision. This concept is the foundation of anything I do with poker and will really help beginners and experts alike put the game in perspective, create goals, and analyze poker situations. Let's begin by putting some definition to these two keys. First, let's look at accurate assumptions. I find it easiest to break this into two sections. One is concerning our opponent's range of hands, and the other is how he will play that range. Now, if you aren't familiar with the term range, then you want to check out the videos on range in my Poker by Numbers series. This key uses a lot of deductive reasoning through what players call hand reading and predicting what decisions, like betting, calling, or folding, our opponent will make with those hands. Key 2 is making the best decision, and we'll simply say this means making the decision that makes the most money. After we've determined our assumptions in Key 1, Key 2 comes along with mathematics to show us what play makes us the most money on average. Let's talk a bit about how to develop these skills. Take a few seconds to look over this graphic. You'll notice I've shown that developing accurate assumptions is mostly improved through playing experience, while making the best decision is mostly improved through away from the table work, studying the game. Now there is some overlap there, but for the most part, this is how it goes. Now I'm going to submit to you that making the best decision is the most important part to develop, especially for a beginner. Let's take a look at a hand to see this at work. We've called this player's preflop raise and everyone else folded. The flop has come, and we now have an open-ended straight flush draw, and we have a $75 pot with $1,000 left in our stacks. Our opponent bet $60 into a $75 pot. Now we have a decision to make, so let's go through our two keys to good poker and fill in the blanks. First of all, what is our assumption about his hand range? Or we could ask, what hands could he have? Just as we get started to answer that, he flips his hand over for some reason and shows us the ace-king suited with spades. Well, no need for assumptions now. We know his hand. Now the next part is our assumptions about his strategy, or how he plays that hand. Just as we start to think about that, he truthfully declares to us that he'll not fold to any size raise we make. He's ready to get all in with this hand. So again, no need for assumptions here. We know his strategy. So the first key to good poker is covered. Now let's change the rules of this game just a bit and say that you can only make two decisions. You can either fold or push. So what would be the best decision of the two, and why? Now you may say fold or push, but you need to be certain, and you need to be able to understand why. Now let's change his hand and make it king-queen suited of diamonds. You have the same strategy, and we have the same rules. Now are you going to fold or push, and why? Are you certain? So notice that even though the first key of good poker is totally defined and answered, without knowing how to make the best decision, we are still not ready to play good poker. And in real poker, all the hand reading in the world will do you no good if you don't know what to do with the information you gain. So making the best decision is the most important key to focus on at first. And notice that it's the key that's most improved through time spent away from the tables. This means that most of our time as beginners should be spent away from the tables. However, you may feel a bit lost in how to start learning the game. What do you need to work on, and how do you go about learning it? How about developing those assumptions in Key 1? How do you do that? Well, stop worrying about all that and join Drag the Bar today. We'll help you every step of the way as you learn how to play poker well. Our informative videos and friendly forums are just what you need. You even have the opportunity to join for free when you join a poker site through us. So what are you waiting for? Come learn to play like the pros at DragtheBar.com.